Oh, hi all. Welcome back to the workshop tonight. Now, I believe in the last John Deere B restoration video I happened to mention that my favourite BW was back in the workshop. Now, it's been in the workshop earlier this summer having a oil leak repaired between the back axle and the main case, and the reason we did that was because I decided that we would go on a few tractor runs this year. We've had an excellent summer this year in the UK, and we've been on 3-4 tractor runs. They've been brilliant, they really have. And unfortunately, in the last tractor run that we went on, we suffered engine failure. I'll just put this light on. As you can see, the block is removed. And basically, we were halfway through the run and the engine went onto one cylinder and eventually it died, would not start again, so we towed it home, brought it home on the trailer. Now, we've had an extremely busy summer this year on the farm and autumn. Despite the good weather, we seem to have been working all the hours God sends. But on one wet afternoon, I decided I'd take the engine out, one of the few wet afternoons that we had. And so we took the block out, took the pistons out, and just had a look to see what had gone wrong. Now, over in the workshop here, well, not the workshop, in the little restoration room, is its cylinder block. Now, when we got the block out, it had attempts at being rebored, basically, badly. I don't know what someone had been doing in the past, but it looked like they'd started to rebore it for a certain size, made a hash of it, and just generally hadn't done a very good job. They had left enough metal in it to rebore it to fit 45 thou oversized gasoline pistons or petrol pistons, and so luckily, obviously, it should run. I mean, you've seen the videos that I use this tractor a lot. It's amazing, to be fair. But anyway, it was so badly damaged, the block, from somebody else's attempts in the past. But even on a rebore, you would not have fitted 125 thou oversized pistons in it. So I decided, because initially I thought the block could very well be scrap, I had a word with my guys at the machine shop, and we both decided that the one route we could go down would be to re-sleeve it, basically putting a sleeve into each cylinder. Now, I think I've mentioned in the past I have supplied cylinder sleeves to other people. Not been a great fan, really. I always think sleeves can cause other problems. But anyway, I thought, well, I'm not going to find a block anywhere in a hurry, so we will have a go at sleeving this one. These sleeves are slightly different to what I've used in the past. In the past, we've used straight sleeves, bored the block out, pressed them in, and away you go. My only fear with those type are that the sleeve can move. With these sleeves, I wanted to make them so that they had a lip on them. I don't know if it's going to come up too well. You should be able to see the lip. Now, what you do is you machine a groove into the top of the block to accept the lip, and you press the sleeve in, machine the top off, the block off, and hopefully, belt and braces, that sleeve will never move because it's nipped between the block and the cylinder head. Now, we rebored the sleeves to accept the flat top pistons that were in this Model B that we're restoring. Now, they were 45 thou oversized pistons, as you recall, are genuine John Deere ones. Genuine John Deere ones. And so we're going to put those in the tractor. I have brand new rims for them. We'll put those in, and it will restore the tractor back to the low compression, all fuel burning engine, which is what I've been wanting to try. Now, at the end of the day, going back to the block, I was never convinced that the block was our issue. Even though it was really gnarly inside, I was never convinced that was what was causing our problems. So on inspection of the cylinder head, which is over here, we found that one valve had slightly burnt, but nothing desperate. And so we thought, oh well, that's been the problem, burnt valve, loss of compression. Now, I hadn't at that time cleaned the cylinder head off, but eventually I got round to cleaning it off, and look what I found. Look at that crack, if the camera will focus. Interestingly, when we took it to bits, we found no water inside that cylinder, but I can't imagine that crack has been helping the issue at all. It has actually been an oldish repair, because as you can see, it's had a valve seat put in, not particularly well, but there is a valve seat there, and inside there is some welding been done to it. So I'm thinking it's a combination of that poor machine work done on the block and that crack in the cylinder head. This has eventually given us all the problems that we had. Now I've managed to find another cylinder head. I've shipped one over, or I am shipping one over from the States, and so once that comes, hopefully we'll be all back in business. So as you can see, there is one or two more components missing off the tractor. We've got the first reduction cover off at the moment, and the reason being for that is I knew there was a little bit of play in the main bearings, and never really, I was going to get round to it, but this obviously, with the engine being out, I thought, right, we'll have them done. Now as you can see, I'm not going to go through what we do, because I think I've done videos of them on the Restoration Bee, but basically you split these bolts out here, take the cap off, and with this one I measured it up that if I took a 3,000th of an inch shim out of each pack either side, that would tighten it up, and it has. It's tightened it up a treat. It is seriously, there's no play in that at all, and it's got a lovely feel to it now. So we did it on both sides. If I take the camera around, you can see it on the other side. I just love this little BW. It's my oily rag tractor. I do all sorts with it, and I've missed it this summer with it being broken down. But it has made me get the BN running a lot better. I recall the BN, I was having a lot of bother with the BN through the summer, and so it made me get the BN running a lot better. Yep, so pretty much the same sort of thing here. I don't know if we can see in there, but you can see the bolts and the cap. There's the cap. Again, took 2 shims out either side, well, 1 shim out of either side, making a 3/1000th of an inch. So I've reduced the, I've taken 3/1000 out of it, and it's tightened it up a treat. Not a thing on it now. It really is. Lovely job. So once we get those bits put back on, that cap back on there, flywheel back on, then we can start looking to putting the block back in. Back in the engine, in here. Get the block back in there, and we get the pistons in and the rods, and then all we'll be waiting for is the cylinder head. If you're doing this at home yourselves, one thing that is very important, and I mentioned it probably in the bee restoration, is that once, if you recall, I've said once you take the block out between the frames, the tractor is only held together by 4 bolts in this area here, and so you've got to be very careful because it does flex. And every time I've moved this tractor, I've ensured that it's been put back on a jack, just to support the middle. Because remember, these are a cast frame, and so you don't want any accidents. You don't want it breaking or anything. So yeah, so that's what we're up to at the moment. And the reason I'm wanting this this back together now and repaired is, as I say, I think you recall, for those that are following my videos, you will see that I use this tractor to help feed the sheep in the winter months. I have a trailer now, which we made last year, a better one. And so we use this tractor to help feed the sheep in the winter months, and so I want it back up and running. And also, once this is put back together, we can fully concentrate now on getting the bee finished. I think in the last video we were talking about putting the patch in where the exhaust comes through. As you can see, I've just put in some light filler here. This is to rub down again. So yeah, once that's rubbed down and the whole hood rubbed down, we'll be able to get a bit of paint put on that. Yep, so that's where we are at the moment. Get this tractor back together, which I'm hoping, it's a weekend at the moment, so I'm hoping we'll get the block back in tomorrow, and that all will be left is to get the head fitted. Okay, alright then, thanks for the look, bye.